as also a part minority as well, this is something that is I'm always a bit in two minds with. I had an incident, what's it called, about a week ago. Like I was flying for a local comedy gig that I run, and it was a bit of a strange incident in that there's a bunch of, I'll say Eastern European because they had the accent and the, yeah, they sound and the look. They're from Eastern Europe. They were having a chat. They were in a little group, but as soon as I saw one of them there, he was shouting out DVD, DVD, and I was thinking, uh, what's going on here? I didn't get it the first time, but he said it a couple of times, and he said DVD, DVD, and then I was a bit sort of taken back by it. See, in that situation, it was someone that I knew and I had a good relationship with. It would be cool, but it was someone that they don't know me. They just see me on the street and they're treating it like we're like it's a friendly thing. It's a bit like me saying to them, "Could you build us a log?" Or could you go on like be my builder for a day? But they
Hmm.
thought that was a joke. But if it was done in the right way, then it's in terms of being just trying to be pally. But it felt like he wanted to look cool in front of his friends by taking the piss out of someone else.
That's
And
exactly what was going on. Yeah, taking the piss out of a stranger.
and the
Doesn't know
way,
you don't know them, correct?
yeah,
Yeah, so that's not okay, in my opinion. And I would never do something like that, ever.
how I responded back was, mate, DVD's a bit out of fashion. I know you don't understand it and you're not bright enough to understand, but it's okay. And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just joking, I'm just joking." He said, "I'm just joking." But it was a
Hmm.
bit like, I don't know, it was a bit of, in that situation, there's a lot more I could have said and done. You know, when you think as a comedian, you could have said this and that. But in that situation, that wasn't right. If it was someone I knew and we're having a bit of a laugh and a joke, we'll say all sorts of
Correct.
things and done in a friendly, trying to engage and interact way, rather than just try and make fun of someone in front of your friends way, then that would have been okay.
Yeah, it's called context. So if the context was it was you and your mates, and you guys are always taking the piss out of each other, it's harmless. You know that the intention behind it isn't to really hurt you, you know. But in that context where you're a stranger to them, they're doing it, they're actually hurting your feelings or like attacking you. Attacking is that's a that's a harsh word, but they're doing it as you for the reason as you said earlier to look cool in front of their friends. Context is everything. That's why people say this with stand-ups. In the actual room where the stand-up comedy show is happening, that is the context, and that's the context that the comics have created, which is why it's repulsive to me when people extract clips out of a stand-up comedy show and then attack that comic for saying it and sharing it. So look at what this comic said at this show, and 9 times out of 10, you see those videos, the crowd is laughing because in that context, it was permissible to say what was being said. In that context, permissible. You take it out and pass it around and say this comic is racist or sexist or whatever. That's that is not. It's out of context now, and now an easy target for attacking. But people don't. They don't put that. They don't make that connection with the context. Your situation, same. That in that context, not okay. But if it was your friends, you guys are always taking the piss out of each other. That context is safe. This is common, man. This is common. I think you handled it very well, though.
It was. I think it's, yeah. It's something. Yeah, context is the biggest thing, as you said
It's
with it.
huge. It's huge.
It's everything
It's
with this type of situation.
correct. It's everything with this type of situation, and it gets even worse. Sometimes they'll take a quote out of and they won't even take the video clip of the comedian. They'll actually print out the joke and put it in a blog article and be like, the comic said this, and then they type it, and it looks horrible in that way. That's even further removed from the context, and it makes the comedian an easy target at that point. um I just it's horrible when they do that. I really hate that, and you see it often, especially with the comics that are really famous. There was that incident of Daniel Tosh and the rape joke that he did. That I recall a few years ago that I thought they did. That was a horrible thing that they did, because within the context, everybody laughed. The joke worked. It was permissible in that. But everybody, you take the word rape out of the context, because no, they can't even fathom a context within which joking about rape is acceptable. But yeah, there is a context where joking about rape is acceptable. I'm sorry to tell you, be an adult and recognize that. Context is everything,